before I return these books, thought I would share what I got at the library, because I don't know if I'm going to get to these this time, and they're already overdue. I'll share what I got, in case it looks interesting to you. The Ruins, I didn't get to it though. I was just excited just to go to the library, so I don't know if I'll check out this many next time. I didn't know there's I never been to a library around here before. The Huntington Beach Library. It's a beautiful library. On the Ruins, that's after a horror movie. But then I've already seen the horror movie, so I realized I wasn't as interested to read the book. But it's about, it's to do with these monsters that will mimic you. That's how they lure you in and trick you. And it says simply suspense novel of the year. This is Stephen King. It fulfills every expectation of a novel of suspense. It has amazing reviews. That sounds spooky. It sounds good. I probably will get it later. Just maybe not right now. Maybe I'll check it out again. So that's a horror book. I want to get this again too. I'll probably buy this. I feel like it would just be nice to have. Plus for life. Right, it's Vincent Van Gogh's story. Sort of a story of excruciating power. The New York Times. I like that it's kind of like he wrote it the way it's from his perspective. Vincent did nothing but eat, sleep, and sit a day. The fever was slowly being driven out of his body. He was gaining strength and weight to his eyes. Let's see. We'll just flip through find a random line. Yeah, it's all from his, as if it was through his perspective. Which I think it would be really interesting. So I probably would like to just buy this eventually. You find it used on Amazon. I would like to hear his more personal story. The biographical novel. Most famous of all Stone's novels is the story of Vincent van Gogh, brilliant painter, passionate lover, alleged madman. Here's his tempestuous story, his dramatic life, his fevered loves for both the highest born women and the lowest prostitutes, his paintings for which he was damned before being proclaimed as genius. The novel takes us from his desperate days in a coal mine in southern Belgium to his dazzling years in the south of France, where he knew the most brilliant artists and the most depraved whores. Finally, it shows us Van Gogh driven mad, tragic, and triumphant at once. No other novel of a great man's life has so fascinated the American public for generations. So I'll probably buy this. That way I could relax with it. I'm not worried about returning it in. Vincent might like that as well. I got this. I got Troll, which I was excited about seeing on the shelf. I almost felt like it was meant to be, because this was on, when I started looking for books that I wanted, this was actually one I put on my list. A lot of these were just things I grabbed, and I didn't know anything about. This one I actually researched and I wanted. It sounded interesting. It says Troll love story, a wily thriller fantasy. Each discovery sounds like the voice of a storyteller reminding us how gods play with our faith. Troll's a wonderfully compelling fable suspense. Forget, I don't know, I'm reading the reviews. I thought I was reading the thing. It's about a guy that finds a troll. A little troll, and he brings it into his home. This tiny little troll. And it's about him trying to take care of the troll. It says a love story. So I guess feelings develop. But I didn't get that far because I didn't like it. I love the idea of that. I love the idea of you fall. Maybe later in my life I'll come back to this. Right now it doesn't suit me. Because there's a lot of facts, which is kind of neat. If you're into if you're really into like mythical creatures and stuff, and you really want to like the factual side of them and like the lore on like a deep level, and just like information over time. It just felt almost too realistic. Like he brings the troll into his house, and for like 2 chapters or 2 or 3 chapters, he's just trying to figure out what to feed it, and it just felt very stressful and technical. It just feels so. It's very like, I don't know. I just want something more whimsical, and this feels like it's more like it's taking it very seriously. That's what it feels like. Like it feels very real. So that's appealing to you, which I think a lot of people would think it's appealing. Like the realistic idea of getting a troll in real life, if it really happened, and all the facts about trolls in history or in the whole mythos, then maybe you'll really like it. But it felt too real. I want something more lighthearted or quirky, or I don't know, something more like that. So it's not for me right now. I just was laughing at this cover when I went with Kelly. And it sounds like that troll book kind of gets sweet. I would flip forward and I saw like it looked tender. So I don't know. I'll come back later in my life. If you like, I already said it. This was making me laugh. Pretend we are lovely. I was like, Kelly, pretend we're lovely. Pretend we're lovely. We are lovely. I just thought it was funny, the title. Here's the summary. But this looks like something I would have read in my early 20s. Like when I was 21 or 22. I don't know if I want to read about that. I burnt myself out. I read a lot of books on eating disorders and things like that. I read at least a dozen books on the subject in my early 20s. Late teens, early 20s. So I kind of sick of reading about food. But it looks like it has to do with eating disorders. It says summer of 82. Francie dresses in tennis skirts and ankle socks and weighs her grams of allotted carrots and iceberg lettuce. Her semi-estranged husband Tate prefers a packed fridge and hidden donuts. Daughters Enid, 10, and Vivi, almost 13, are a subtler version of their parents, measuring their summer vacation by meals had over or meals skipped. But at summer's end, secrets both old and new emerge, and Francie disappears, leaving the family teetering on the brink. Told from alternating points of view by the 4 living Sobels, Pretend We Are Lovely is a darkly funny story of forgiveness, family secrets, and the losses we inherit. At its core, it's the ever-complicated and deeply devoted bond of sisterhood, as the girls, left mostly to their own devices, must navigate their way through school, find comfort in each other, and learn the difference between food and nourishment. So, that sounds interesting to you. Then maybe that's for you. This sounds like I burnt myself out on this topic, so I'm not really interested in that. Maybe later. We already reviewed Until I Met My Husband, which is the first thing I saw when I walked in. 10 out of 10. It should be on a list of like essential books for just humanity, probably. I think it's really good. I got it. With this, The Life and Opinions of Tristram Shandy. Look at this cover. I would never be interested in this. I would never pick this up. But this is one of the books that I think this is it. There's a few different ones similar. This one I'll probably buy it for if I find it used for like $1. Because it looks like something I might like, but it looks like something I really have to take my time with. Like, and read over years, probably. It seems like one of those books, like I like the voice. The voice has like a tone to it that seems sort of fun. I like the way the I don't know, the language of it seems. I don't know, I like the style of that it's written in. It feels kind of quirky and cute. I don't know. Therefore, my dear friend and companion, if you should think me somewhat sparing of my narrative on my first setting out, bear with me, and let me go on and tell my story my own way. Or if I should seem now and then to trifle on the road, or should sometimes put on a fool's cap with a bell to it for a moment or two as we pass along, don't fly off, but rather courteously give me credit for a little more wisdom than appears upon my outside. And as we jog on, either laugh with me or at me, or in short, to do anything, only keep your temper. So this definitely looks cute. I like the style. He seems like a quirky person. I don't know, I think this will be cute. But I think I'm gonna wait. So dense. I feel like I'm gonna just wait to get this used to. So Lust for Life in this, I'm gonna buy myself. I saw a review on it, and the guy was saying it was a man, and he's imagining the moment he was conceived from his mother and father, and the clock, and I don't know, just that alone sounded funny. Him imagining being conceived, and I forget what else he said. Like it sounded funny. Like so I don't get that. That sound. I would never pick this cover out. What is this? What if this is totally me and I don't even know it? Just like this style. What is this? What is this? I don't even know what you call these type of people. George Washington people? Are these George Washington people? Why are these outfits? What do you call this? Look. I don't know. Now I cannot bear the barbarity of it. I feel like when I used to have write here I feel like when I was a teenager, this is the way I used to write. This sort of funny tone. I cannot bear the barbarity of it. How can that unconscionable coachman talk so much bawdy to that lean horse? Don't you see, friend, the streets are so villainously narrow that there is not room in all Paris to turn a wheelbarrow? In the grandest city in the whole world, it would not have been amiss if they had been left a thought wider, nay, were it only so much of every single street as that a man might know, was it only for satisfaction on which side of it he was walking. He really gets into it. But it does sound funny. Will this be good for your worship's eyes? It will do well for mine. And was it not that my opinions will be the death of me? I perceive I shall lead a fine life of it out of this self same life of mine, or in other words, shall lead a couple of fine lives together. So then, friend, how do you let me? I don't like it. You got my father and my Uncle Toby off the stairs, and I've seen them to bed. Now, how did you manage it? It dropped a curtain at the stairs foot. I thought you had no other way for it. Here's a crown for your trouble. Anyway, yeah, we'll get that later. I don't know, I just grabbed this because it caught my eye. This cover. Just on our way out the door, I'm like, I'm just gonna grab some that are randomly, that just catch my eye. This was the one I grabbed. About face. Like, what's that about? This is William. Was a cheese. Has a. Oh, okay. Those are reviews. Okay. So, you gotta hurry. We're losing light. I only have one more. I was assigned to write a profile of face during the much-hyped New England tour. 30-year-old impoverished journalist Seeger Jovie pens a brutal hatchet job, but Seeger, at once curious and incredulous, is soon sucked into the mystic vortex of fame, becoming a devotee himself as he contends with the machinations and absurdities of faces. Many protectors, from beefcake bodyguards to helicoptering handlers, to Face's unwavering espouse, nimble at first, unwilling to sacrifice his principles to fill his own ambition, and raised from privation, then touched by Face's unexpected humanity, Seeger oscillates between big words. Oscillates between acting as Face's cynical foil and becoming his unlikely ally. Just as exalted guru appears to be reaching the apex of his powers, danger threatens from the I never seen a lot of these words. Periphery, in the form of an obsessive stalker who wants Face dead. To curb, I guess his name is about Face. I guess his name is Face. To curb his stalker before he can do harm, Face security team enlists the aid of Jackie, an ex-Marine, resourceful Boston detective who moonlights as a novelist of thrill. That is nothing I would be interested in. I have no interest. It's just not my type of thing. But the cover got my eye. I'm just not in. That just does not sound interesting. It sounds like a thing a man would read. I don't know, different type of person, and ex-Marines trying to stalker. I love stalkers. I want like a cute stalker. I want a book written by a cute stalker's perspective. And I want it to be an endearing stalker, and somehow they get together. That would be a nice book. Tell me if there's a book that like that. Then I got A Cosmic Kind of Love. I saw the cover look cute. It sounds cute. But, here, I'll read you a bit. If you like romances, this sounds good to you. I squeezed my legs closer together as he swallowed hard. How long would this cab take? I want you to touch me, I admitted in a whisper. A muscle in Chris's jaw flexed, and he released my hand only to settle it on my knee, and my skin tingled beneath his palm. Soon, he murmured as we watched his hand. He moved it, his fingertips caressing my inner thigh. I shivered, and I knew he felt it because his fingers flexed on my skin. He didn't move it any further, but he continued to make circles in my inner thigh until I was so ready to combust it wasn't even funny, and I let out a little moan, and I saw the cab driver's head snap up towards the rear view. Towards the rear view, and I caught a suspicious gaze and flushed furiously, and Chris chuckled, but he didn't stop tormenting me, and I had never in my entire life felt the hazy, all-consuming control of my hormones. While I had a ton of questions for Chris, important ones I knew we should discuss before anything else happened, my priority was to get him naked. Alright. That sounds pretty hot, right? Maybe I'll pick this up later again. but it feels a little too normal. I have a taste for things that are either weird or I don't know. I just want to read weird romances. Does that make any something that is or funny romances, weird ones, anything that has like a bizarre element. It could be even a dark element too. That's just the mood I'm in right now. Maybe I'll pick this up later. But it feels a little too like normal and cute. She's an event planner, and he's an astronaut. Yeah, he's an astronaut. And, well, that sounds cute. It just feels a little, like, normal. Which, I don't know, like, just like, going to they meet at a party. It's just, like, normal people. Normal grown-ups at parties and meeting each other through events. Which is not... I don't know. Maybe I'm not grown up enough. That I don't really relate to that right now. Maybe in a few years, when I get it together, and I have events I go to, and I have to schmooze with people, and there are different acquaintances I come into, then I'll imagine meeting an astronaut man. But that sounds pretty hot. It's probably good. All of these are probably good. That, I just think that, and I'll get some of them at different times, but I wanted to share what I picked out before I return it. And in case I want to get it again later, in case anybody's interested. Okay, so here, look it. We've had just enough light. Here's my booktube, my library book review. I'm so happy to find a beautiful library near me. It's so nice. Alright. Everyone has a nice day and night in life, and Jesus loves you, I love you. See you later.